Right. So in the last class, we have discussed about the RPA concepts. Hope this topic is clear to you all. Does anyone has any doubt in this or want to discuss anything before starting further? Okay, I'm assuming nobody has any doubts up till now. So I'm moving further to discuss the next topic, like what to be automated. Okay. So like as the thing is like we will try to understand like what kind of things we can automate basically. So suppose for example any business team or any user is working on the things and they comes up by saying like yes we need to automate this particular process. So it doesn't means like definitely we will be able to automate. We need to understand everything end to end, then only we can decide of. And there are things, few parameters which helps us to understand, yes, definitely we can go ahead and automate this particular process. So in that, like I will discuss few pointers. The first point is like if in case any particular process is manual and it is repetitive in nature, then we can automate that particular process. Repetitive in the sense like similar kind of things on the daily basis we do it every day. So we can definitely automate such type of processes. Okay. After this, if in case if any process is there which is based on the rule, like there is certain rule given and we follow that rule and we get some end result in those processes, then this type of process can also be automated through RPA. If in case we are having any process in which there is very low exception rate, then such type of process can also be automated through RPA. So why we are talking about low exception rate, like if in case we have done the automation and it ends up into an error multiple times, then that is also not a good thing. So we try to find out such processes in which the exception coming rate is very low, basically. After this, if in case like there are certain processes in which it requires some input values, some text-based data, or like it is interacting with some user interface, like taking some input through keyboard or mouse clicks. So all these type of things we can easily automate through RPA. As like through RPA, we are able to do the automation on any desktop-based application, web-based application, UI-based application. So any kind of things is there on all those things, we can easily do the automation. If in case there is any process in which we are getting a high transaction volume means like on the daily basis for that particular things, we are getting multiple records to be processed. So such type of processes should also be taken it, and it is a very good candidate to automate the things with RPA. So in this like high like which is running on the daily basis or weekly basis, or it is running twice in a day, so such type of process we can do it up easily. Also one more important point is like we try to find out such processes which are stable in nature, stable in the sense like since the time it is running with the client, we are getting very less amount of issues in it. Okay, all the required steps which we are performing in those processes are properly documented, and like business is able to easily predict what exactly the output they are going to get with any such type of input values which we give in these processes. So all such type of processes we can easily automate through RPA. Okay, so these were all like few pointers which helps us to understand like what kind of process are there and what we can automate basically. So all these things if comes up, then we are clear with the things like we can easily automate it through RPA. So I hope this topic is clear to you all. Do anyone has any doubt in this? Anyone want to ask anything?
No, sir.
Okay then. Thank you. So this was your second topic today, like what to be automated, like how we understand. Then the third thing is like why we want to, like what kind of things we automate, task or processes, all these things. So why we do the automation? Because it helps in many ways. First of all, it helps us in increasing the employee capacity. How it helps is up, like as we discussed above here also, like if in case there is any manual process which is repetitive in nature kind of things, okay, so if such processes are done by any particular employee, then those particular processes are taken care by our virtual robots. Virtual robot will do those particular repetitive tasks, and then in that scenario, that particular employee who is doing that work is like having a time to do some other work. Okay, so in this way it helps us to increase the capacities of the employee to think something new and try to innovate something new in their particular fields. So that's why we think of to automate the things. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is like if in case we are putting the automation, then it provides us a consistency and regulatory compliance. So what is the meaning of these two things? Like consistency in the sense like whatever the process we are doing it on the first day, even if it is running on the 100th day also, the bot will perform that same process and same steps. So it means like that consistency will be there every time. It is not like it sometimes happen like humans are doing the work, and maybe due to some reasons they do some errors and they forgot to perform any particular step, then they might not get that particular results. But in the RPA we have already like automated all the steps, like what all it has to do. So it that's why like whenever it will run, it will perform all the steps end to end, and it will provide you a proper consistency. That's the first thing. And second thing is like regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance in the sense like since we are following all the steps properly end to end, so it will always be compliant with the process. Compliant in the sense like all the check marks, all the required things will be covered in that and nothing will be missed out. So basically the like whenever these processes are run into the production, so the thing is like on the timely basis, the clients used to do some compliance check. Compliance in the sense like how it was behaving. Like they try to find out a kind of a report and will see like for last 1 month how the process has behaved, or maybe for last 3 months how the process was working. Like is it getting too much errors, or like how it is running? Is it trying to complete all the steps or not? Is it missing any steps? So all these things they used to check in their compliance checks. Okay, so there we will find out, since we have automated the process, so it will not miss out anything. So that's why the compliance things will remain constant in. Okay, so that's the thing. The next point is like this: if we are thinking of to automate through RPA, then it helps us in improving the employee and customer satisfaction. So how it helps us is like whenever we are doing any particular thing, okay, so like customers put up the things, so on the timely basis they will get their responses. Like since it is like added with a robot, so like even if some customer try to put any queries or something, they will get their response on time and up to the point. So it will give a more satisfaction to the customer, and it helps us in the future in increasing the business also. Okay. Now another important point is like it since it is like we do the automation, so it makes the process very fast to execute, and as well as it takes very less cost to do the automation. As I have told you earlier also in my earlier discussion, like if in case we are putting any full-time employee to do the work, so whatever the cost it is coming to the company on any full-time employee, the robots are able to do that work in the 1/3 of that cost actually. So that's why it goes for very less cost also if we think of to do the automation for any process. Okay, so is it clear till here?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. It's kind of a theoretical things, but like these all kind of pointers and everything is very important. Like if in case if somebody asks you in the interviews, so these are the pointers which you need to explain it up basically during the interviews. Okay. So this was your another topic, why automating the task and process. Next thing is the architecture, like what is the architecture which we are following while we are doing the automation into RPA. Okay. So if I talk about the architecture, this is its architecture. So you can see there are totally 5 modules. This one application under RPA execution, first one. Second one is the RPA execution infrastructure. Third one is the RPA tools. The fourth one is the configuration management, and fifth one is the RPA platform. So these are the 5 major points in this RPA architecture. Okay. So let me just explain you what this architecture is basically doing the things and how it works. Okay. So the first thing is the application under the RPA execution. So basically here it is showing it up like there are multiple type of applications available in the market, and this RPA is able to like capable enough to do a interaction with all these type of applications and do the execution. Okay, so these applications can be in any kind of nature. For example, it is related to the database, or it is related to some company specific application. Like IBM is a company, they have created their own specific applications to use. Then if is it related to the SAP, or these are related to some CRM application, customer relationship management applications, or is it related to some cloud, or is it related to some API? So any kind of application it can be. With all this kind of application, bot is able to interact. So this is the first layer or the first thing in the architecture. Second one is the RPA execution infrastructure. So if we talk about the infrastructure, then there are 2 type of infrastructure available in this. One is the physical one, and second one is the virtual. Okay. So what is the meaning of physical? Physical in the sense like kind of laptop, desktops which you are having with yourself. And in that, if you install any UiPath Studio to do the automation, so you can easily install in your physical laptops and desktops and can do the automation. Similarly, the other option is called virtual. Virtual in the sense like, for example, if we are working with some clients, okay, so what they do is like they provide us some virtual infrastructures, okay, that is virtual desktop infrastructure, VDI. So it is like virtually we connect those VDIs in our laptops, and then we do the automation in those VDIs. So things are same. It is just like this is physical in nature, you can touch and do the work. That is virtual in nature, so inside your laptops and desktops you are just connecting those machines and doing the automation inside it. Okay, understood these 2 points? Any doubt in this? Okay, the next one is this like interaction of the UiPath with different type of browsers, you can say, or web applications, you can say, okay, or Citrix application, you can say. So all these things. So what this means is like with the help of certain extensions available in UiPath, we are able to interact with these browsers properly. Like I will show you up in the UiPath Studio at the later stage, but just try to understand. So in the UiPath Studio, there are different extensions are available on the basis of these web applications. Sorry, these browsers are available. So like if you are connecting on Google Chrome, then there is an extension available for Google Chrome. We need to install it up so that the UiPath Studio will be able to interact with the Google Chrome properly. Similarly, for other browsers also, you need to install those particular extensions. Okay, so this is the thing in the third part. The fourth part is the configuration management. Okay, so this is a very important thing. So here 2 things are shown. Okay, one thing is called a version control. Second one is like one example is given that is like Git. Git is there, SCM tools. Okay, So what is the meaning of this one? I will just explain you. Okay. So if we talk about UiPath Studio, they itself have their ability to do the version controlling. Okay. So now what is the meaning of this is like whenever you create any particular process, the by default version which is given to that process is 1.0.0. If in case you are republishing any process, then the version will get increased to 1.0.2. Then if you republish, then 1.0.3. In this way, it will get on increasing. Like, so this is like the version controlling which is already taken care by the UiPath itself. Okay. Now there are certain scenarios in which happen is like client is saying, I don't want to use this version control specification of UiPath. I want to do it up with some my separate third party tools. Okay. In that one example is your GitHub. Okay. So if in case client is having the license and particular thing for that any such type of version controlling software, then we can use this also. Like UiPath is having tie-up with GitHub with TFS. TFS is of Microsoft Team Foundation server. There is a SVN also server version controlling. So these are the different type of tools available through which we can do this version controlling part. So if in case we are not using the by default option of UiPath version control, then we can do this version controlling with the help of these third party tools also. It is just like you need to connect those things by going inside the settings. Once it is connected properly with the UiPath Studio, automatically that version controlling will start doing on those third party tools. Understood? Any doubt till here?
Yeah, okay, correct.
Do you understand all these things? Have you heard about these words? GitHub, TFS, Team Foundation Server, SVN, server version. If you have not heard, please try to do a little bit of Googling also. It will be good for you. It's not a very big thing to do, but like at least you should have some understanding with yourself. Okay. Now, this is the fourth one. The last one is the RPA platform. Okay. So if I talk about the RPA platform, in this, you can see there are totally 5 things available. Okay. The first thing is, in this first one, there are 4 things. First thing is robotic components library. So library here is means like kind of a reusable component which we are creating and which we can utilize it in our different processes or projects which we develop in UiPath. Okay. So that is called a library, first of all. Second one is the applications object store. Okay. As the word store is there, you can understand, like, for example, you are using your phones. Okay. Either it is a Android based or Apple based, anything it can be. So there is a Play Store or Apple Store available. So you know, like, what is the use of store? Like inside the store, you have multiple applications and games available. Okay. If it is free in nature, you can download it for free. If those are actually paid ones, so you need to do some payment and then you can use those particular things. Correct. So similarly, you can attach that same concept here. Here also this store means like there are already some predefined things available with us. Okay. Like somebody has already created certain bots for us. Okay. We can directly download those bots and can utilize it as and when required. Okay. So this is the use of this application object store. The third one is the RPA processors and RPA execution data. So what this means is like, what are all those data which is available, which we execute into the RPA. Okay. So data can be of multiple things. Okay. First thing is like any kind of input data which we are giving to the processes. So it depends on the process, like what kind of input value. It can be in the form of Excel file, it can be in the form of notepad file, okay, or it can be we are taking the input from some mailboxes, like we are downloading the data from any particular email. So it can be of anything, okay. So any kind of data which is available, which is used in our process, that is your RPA execution data, okay. So this was the another thing. Now moving further, you have RPA execution orchestration, okay. So what this means is like, once you have deployed your particular process into the orchestrator, okay, then you can run your particular process from the orchestrator directly itself. No need to go to your UiPath Studio and run your process. You can do it up from there itself, okay. So this is your orchestration process. The another one is the RPA analytics. This I have discussed with you earlier also. You can see it up here in the diagram also. It is a kind of a bar chart kind of diagram you can see. So it is explaining, like, this is used to do the analysis of the data, okay, in the form of the charts, okay. So if you are having any process or anything, or the client says like, I need some chart type of presentation in which I can see how the things were. So those all things also can be done in the RPA with the help of this feature, which is called RPA analytics. Okay. The other one is the RPA execution logs. As the name is telling, execution means to execute the things. Okay. And logs like the details which is available for that particular execution. Okay. So here you can understand in such a way, logs are something like a basic detail which explain you like what exactly the things bot have done up till now, okay. So like any kind of step which we are developing in our bots, for each and every step we write down a log in a and in that log it is a like normal English language, we will write it up like that particular thing which is done by the bot. So with the help of these logs, we are able to understand, okay, like what kind of things our bot has done up till now. So this is your execution logs. So as the bot will execute one by one, after each and every step, it will write down these logs. And you will be able to go there and see to it. I will at the later stage explain you how these logs are written actually. Practically, we will do it up and then you will understand. And the last one is the software robots. Software robots are your actual robots which runs and do the steps when you click on the run command in your UiPath Studio. So these are your actual virtual robots, a kind of software available in your system which will perform your steps and give you the end results. So this was all about your architecture. So did you all understood?
Yes, Vikas.
Okay. But, so after this architecture, we will discuss about tools under RPA. So like, as I told you earlier also, like there are multiple tools available in the market. Like there are multiple companies who have created their own tools which will work on this RPA technology basically. And those tools are have came up with their own company names itself. So I will show you a few of the names here. So you can see like it is like Automation Anywhere is a company who has created its own RPA tool. Blue Prism is a company who has created. So these are all actually companies available in the market, and they have created their own RPA tools and launched it to the market so that the users can use it up and do the work. Okay. So like Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, OpenSpan, UiPath, Variant, Blackline, Nice Optimize, Datamatics, Cofex, Asverb, Help System. And there are multiple modes are there. Okay, work fusion, OpenSpan, Cofex capture, Creon system, Capo. So lot of things are there. We can utilize it up. Like as per our requirement, whatever kind of RPA this tool we want to use, we can use it up and do the work. Okay. Fine. So we are done till here. Now we have to move on to the Blue Prism. So I'm just taking a 1 minute break. Just need to put up the charger. Yeah, okay. Uh, so we have done till here, tools under RPA. Now we are moving to the next topic, which is your Blue Prism. So I will just give you a very brief overview how this Blue Prism looks, what we have some things in this like which we should understood. So this is some theoretical things first of all, like it's related to like what is actually Blue Prism. It is basically a UK based software company who has created its own tool in the field of RPA and given the name same as Blue Prism. That's the first thing. Then we are having certain features about this Blue Prism. Okay. So like it is very secure, scalable, and central management of a virtual workforce in software robots. So like it is very secure in nature, scalable in the sense like we can easily measure the things, what we are doing it up, and we can easily handle it up with the help of these software robots. Okay. Like whatever the solution which we are implementing, like we can do the automation end to end with any kind of solutions which we are performing. That's the second feature of it. Okay. Third one, it is like it is very robust in nature and it has very different type of features available with it in the Blue Prism, like load balancing. Load balancing in the sense like the kind of request and the amount of request which is coming and for doing the work, it is able to do the load balancing with the help of queues. So we'll explain you what is queues actually at the later stage, but just try to understand like with the help of queue, we can do this load balancing here. Okay. Encryption in the sense like if in case there is some secure data or something, we can easily do encrypt those things with the help of Blue Prism. And we can easily do the auditing also. Auditing is the sense like what were the things, how it has behaved, does it given the end results properly or not. So all these things we do in the audit. So these all things we can easily do it up here. Okay. It gives us various type of spying modes for different type of applications. Spying in the sense like if in case on any particular application, if we want to capture any specific thing, then we can easily do it up with the help of Blue Prism. So that is also a good thing available here. Okay. Moving further, if I talk about the components of Blue Prism, so there are mainly two components. One is called Process Studio, and second one is called Object Studio. Okay, so it is a kind of like, actually this Blue Prism is a kind of desktop based application, and it gets installed in your laptops. So whenever it gets installed, in that you get these two things. One is called Process Studio, and second one you called it as Object Studio. So now I will explain you what these two things are. So basically in the Object Studio, we create VB object, Visual Business Object. So these objects, you can say in such a way like it is a kind of a structure, okay, which helps us to interact with the other applications. Okay, so it creates a structure there. So in this Object Studio, we do this part. And when I talk about the Process Studio is our actual place we where we create our bots, and it works in a this all works in a form of a flow chart basically. Okay, so whatever the process, the actual robot or the bot which you are developing for any process, it takes and works into a flow chart manner. Now what is this flow chart? Is flow chart in the sense like, in the flowchart we have a start node and an end node, and everything is mentioned between it. So like flowchart, in this way it works on like, in the start node we will keep the things and we will do the work, and in this we can have multiple branches also of it on the basis of different type of conditions. Okay, branches in the sense like it can distribute itself into multiple ways, like on the basis of condition. If that particular condition gets true, it the first thing will get executed. If in case this the second condition is getting true, then the second steps which we have mentioned there, it will get executed. So these all things are done into the flow chart. So we will see to it practically how it does at the later stage. Okay, so as I told you, Object Studio is used to create there some visual basic objects which helps to interact with the application. And in the Process Studio, it is the actual bot which we develops and which actually works in connection with your Object Studio. So in this way, this all works in your Blue Prism, basically. Now here diagrammatically, I have shown it up like how it is working. So in this way, this here it is, you can see. In this way, this Blue Prism will show. Okay, here in you need to click at this particular point. Okay, this is your studio icon. So once you click it up, then on the process you need to do the right click. Once you do the right click, you will get the option of create process. You will create, click on that one. After this, you will give your desired name to this process, what you want to do it up. Once you are done, then in this way, this one will show like in the left side, you have multiple options to select it up. And this is your right space. You can see some blocks are there. So this is your actual workspace where you do your work. So you need to, like, whatever the option you need to do, you will drag and drop, and accordingly it will work for you. So in this way it works. This all is doing the work in the Blue Prism. Okay. So did you get the understanding of the Blue Prism?
Yes, Vikas.
Okay. Now I will discuss about like few of the case studies which are very common and very useful with the help of Blue Prism. Okay, so the first case study is related to the National Retail Bank. So in this, what is the work is like? In the National Retail Bank, whenever they are getting any request for interbank transfer, so earlier they were taking 10 minutes to do this particular thing in a manual way. Now that same thing, when they have put the automation, the interbank transfer is, they are able to do it up in just 20 seconds. So that much it has got speed up and they are able to do the work very fastly. There were around 130 processes in this national retail bank which they have automated. For these 130 processes, they have created near about 100 robots and which have got deployed into your production. With the help of these 100 robots, they are able to save 200 plus full-time employee time, basically. Okay. So like whatever the 200 employees were doing in that thing, that all things, they are able to do the work. So this was your,
Vikas, a small question.
yeah.
So these individual bots have handled 130 processes, or
No, not
100 bots?
bot. 100 robots are there. Okay.
Mhm.
And they have taken 130 processes. Okay.
Yes, individually, or like, I mean, like each
No,
individual
not
bot.
individually.
And
It is like
Mhm.
maybe for one process they have taken two robots, or maybe for one
Uh-huh.
process they have taken one robot. It depends on like how big or small that process is. Okay.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I think of like just one robot, one process, then the count should actually be same. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't in that way. Also, why it can be less is like, for example, I have done the automation for any particular process. Okay. So earlier, as I have shown you, like for this interbank transfer itself, this is also a process. Correct. The bank is doing. So for doing any interbank transfer for any particular user, they have taken 10 minutes. The bot has done in just 20 seconds. Correct. So this is also one process which one of the bot has done. Correct. So in this way, after doing this process, that particular bot is free. Correct. So we
Correct. Yeah.
assign some other process also to this bot to do the work. Correct. So in this way, the count of robots is not required more when we are like if we are automating multiple processes also. Okay. It
Got it, Vikas. Yeah.
availability of the robots. If in case the robots are available, then we can easily assign our processes to those bots and they can do the work for us. Okay. So this was your first use case in Blue Prism. So why I am trying to explain you this use case, so that you can understand like how much beneficial it is for the users also when they have tried to do the automation and use it. Okay. Now there is one more company which is called Global Telco. So they have also done some automation for some of their back office operations. Okay. And in that they have they have also covered a lot of things and they have got very much benefit in that. Okay. So they have covered their 15 core processes and they have replaced around 1200 FTEs. Okay. So like 1000 to 1200 full-time employees got replaced with these bots which they have created. On monthly basis, they are handling around 4 lakh to 5 lakh cases which they are getting to perform. They have deployed 160 robots in the organization, and those 160 robots are taken care by a team of 3 developers only. Understood? Now, this is very important thing. 12 months payback period. What is the meaning of this is like, for example, what they are telling it here is like, today I have invested certain amount. In just a matter of 12 months, they have earned that much, like they have got all their money back. Okay. And after using it for 3 years, they have increased their ROI. Now, this ROI is return on investment. Like whatever the investment they have done on that, what returns they are getting. So they have increased their ROI from 0 to 1, 650 to 800%. So like earlier, if their ROI was 1, now they are earning 800 rupees, kind of. So that much ROI they have increased in just 3 years. So this much amount of benefit they have got by implementing RPA in their company. Okay. Any question? Okay. So this was about this one, Blue Prism overview. Now I will give a brief overview about the automation anywhere also. Okay. So if I talk about the automation anywhere, then in that mainly there are the earlier thing is that same thing, like automation anywhere is a company who has created their own tool and launched into the market for the RPA field. Okay, and many peoples are using it up. The main as I explained you earlier also, mainly the automation anywhere is helpful when we are doing some web based automation, so there it is very beneficial. Okay, so that thing is there. Now if I talk about the architecture, then in automation anywhere there are three major things. One is called control room, second one is called creator, and third one is called bot runner. Okay, so now what these things are, you will understand with this diagram very easily. Okay, control room is something, as the name is there, control, it is controlling each and everything, whether it is related to some user management in the sense like we are creating certain users and we are assigning the licenses to it, whether it is related to some developers or is it related to some bot runner machines. So all these things are done in this user management. Source control, as I've shown it earlier in the architecture also, that version controlling, that same thing is source controlling here. So like that source controlling can be done easily in this control room. Dashboard, like there is a dashboard kind of available in this control room from where you can easily see how many processes are deployed, which are running, which are not running. In the graphical representation, you can understand the things a lot inside it. And fourth one is the license management. License management in the sense like to which user we want to give which license, that all we can handle it up. For example, right now I have created 4 users as with the help of this user management. Now what I am doing is like to user 1 I am giving the developer license, to user 2 I am giving the runner license, to user 3 I might again give the developer license, or then fourth also the developer license. So which user should be given which license, so these all things can be handled up. If in case in future we think of like we need to change the license, like since developer 1 is a since the first user is a developer license and we want to give it a runner license, then we can swap the things also and change it up. That also is possible. So these all things are handled in the control room. Also, this bot creator and bot runner are totally connected with the control room. Bot creator, as the name is there, it is the place where we do the creation. As we have seen in the Blue Prism, I told you, like there are two things, Object Studio and Process Studio. So those are actually some desktop based application which is installed in your system and from where you do the thing. Similarly, here in the automation anywhere also, before to this current version, which is called A 2019 or A360, till it was version 11, it was a desktop based application in which you were installing these two applications of automation anywhere separately. Sorry, three, all the three, bot creator, control room, and bot runner. But after this upgradation to A 2019 or A360, they have totally moved to the cloud, and then these all things have come up onto the cloud, and you are able to do this bot creator and bot runner thing inside the control room itself. So this is all it is. Okay, fine, this I have explained you. In this also few other terminologies are there. One is like bot insights. Okay, bot insight is similar to that one, which we have seen in UiPath Studio called bot analytics. Okay, so this insight also do that same thing, like it will create certain graphs and will give you some graphical representation of the data. Other one is a bot farm. Okay, so it is actually like in this, it is a old concept now. Nowadays, it is not available. Okay, it is a old concept. Nowadays, it is not available in your new version. Okay, that is your A2000 or A360. Before to it, in version 11, it was available. Okay, so what it was meaning is like in that you can create it up multiple bots and integrate it up to each other and can provide it up on the rental basis. Okay, so this was earlier available bot farm. Now what they have done is like instead of bot farm, similar to it, they have created a store. As we have seen earlier, in UiPath Studio also we have a store. Here also they have created a store, and in that store, what it is like, same thing. It is available. Bots are available either in free or in a paid version. You need to pay and you can download from there. So that same thing it is written here, which is called bot store. So this is that same store only. Okay. In that store, it is like we can download our specific things from the marketplace. Marketplace in the sense like in the market, it is available. So what is the meaning of market is like, it can be few of the bots are there, which are like official bots, which is given by Automation Anywhere. And there can be multiple bots which we have like any particular user have created some custom bots or something according to their uses and upload it over this marketplace. So if required, they can download it up. So as I told you, it can be any kind of, it can be either free in nature or it can be paid in nature on the basis of like how they have any particular user have thought of to upload into the bot store. Okay. After this, there are few different type of bots are available in this Automation Anywhere. One is called task bot. Task bot is normally that normal bot which we create for any particular process, that is called task bot in Automation Anywhere. This is a different concept called meta bot, which is available into the Automation Anywhere. That too, like before to your version A2019, this metabot was available. Now after this A2019 or A360, this metabot concept has been rolled off. It is not available nowadays. Okay. So what is the meaning of this metabot is actually, it is kind of like they are already having a structure available. You can call that particular bot, give like do some minimal editing inside it, and it is ready for your use according to your requirement. So it is kind of that it is available in that Automation Anywhere. A similar combination of it is there, but I don't know how many of you will understand. Like there is SQL is there. So in the SQL, if we talk about, it is called stored procedure. So stored procedure is something like already a compiled query is there. We can call it up and it will give you the results. Okay, so that if anybody understand that structured query thing is there, that same thing is similar with this metabot actually. So it is a kind of like they have already created certain structure kind of thing into the bot. You need to call it up and do a minimal changes and it will work for you. That too, this concept was available in the earlier versions. Now it is not available. It is already rolled off. This is a very important thing in Automation Anywhere, which is called IQ bot, Intelligent Quotient Bot. This was the main tool in the Automation Anywhere, which has given the chance to Automation Anywhere to get a very good grip into the market. Okay. Now, other, you can say like other tools like UiPath, this Blue Prism have also thought of to create similar things to this IQ bot. Okay. So if you have heard of in UiPath, it is called document understanding of process. Okay. So this document understanding is same to this IQ bot. So what is the use of this IQ bot is like, if we have any particular structured kind of files of like in PDF format. Okay. For example, we are having certain invoices. I will give you a very simple example. Like you are ordering any particular item from Amazon or Flipkart. So whenever you will order, you will get an invoice with it. So if you see to it, it has a very specific structure. Okay. So if you follow through this structure, you will see like it is having a billing address, shipping address is there, all the things are available in it. Okay. So if such type of structural input is there, and if we need to download anything from there and fetch the data, then for such use IQ bot we use it up in the automation anywhere. And same thing is we are doing it up nowadays with document understanding actually. Okay, so this IQ bot is useful for that purpose. So this was all, and we'll give you, if it is there. No, it is not there. Okay. So if I talk about like where it is used, so like all the type of industries like financial, HR, operations, sales, marketing, manufacturing, government, healthcare, hospitality, in all type of department you can think of, everywhere we they have done the automation with the help of this automation anywhere. Okay. So this was a small description about your overview, I can say, about your automation anywhere too. I hope it is clear to you all. Does anyone has any question?
I'm good with it, Vikas.
Okay. I'm stopping the recording for now.